What up, everybody? Charlie B back in the building. Welcome to Bizarroville. Grid down. Another thing we do over here, if y'all new and don't understand right now, this is not about the other thing I do. I do grid down. We do autism awareness, and we do reactions. I did a show today, and like I tell y'all, I don't cut. I keep it real. I keep it 100 with y'all. All right, and I've been thinking about it. And my whole thing is I do reaction channels on other people and stuff like that. I talk about their children and stuff like that, not in an ill-mannered way, but I do. So I figured, and this show probably could have been another testimony of mine, but I felt like this needs to go with Grid Down for this reason. If everything does go wrong, you have to be aware of the type of people you are taking with you, whether it is your husband, your wife, your kids. Now, I'm going to talk about the situation I had today. Just to, y'all my peoples. So, it'll help me a little bit. So, thank you. All right? Thank you, Peanut Gang. All right? Earlier today, my son came by and we got into it. Real bad. Okay? I'm going to break down what happened. But just let me tell you where I'm going with this. All right. My children. You already know the little ones, Robbie and Romy. I have a daughter. Her name is Alexis. She's my oldest girl. She do her thing. She do her thing, man. Right? Okay. I'm going to say that. I have a 27-year-old son. He's been in prison over 10 years, about 12 years total, right? Okay. Before that, he was in juvenile, right? Okay. Let me break it down. He came over. Well, no. First, let me explain the situation. And I hope y'all don't take this wrong, because we all know that you can't judge what other people do. You can't, right? Okay. So I have friends, like I told y'all, Peanut Gang, that I've been rocking with since a kid. Some of these people have chosen to take their life down the wrong road, right? Okay. My son is mad at me because, how can I say this so y'all all understand? I won't hook him up with these people. Okay? And the problem is, he doesn't understand is, I really don't even, they're my friends, and I know they might even see this. But some people you have to feed with a long handle spoon. Right? And they my dudes, man. They gonna rock with me. So they gonna understand. Let me explain it. I don't even go over their houses. Anything happen at any time. I ain't gonna be sitting in there and go to prison with you. No. But they still my homies. You feel me? So, Charlie B, what you doing? Man, I ain't doing nothing. What you doing? Man, chilling. Meet me at the McDonald's on so and so, man, so we can chop it up. I don't go to their house. They don't come to mine. Right? All right. That's the number one thing being said. Yo, I'm sweating. Y'all know I'm feeling it, and it's not hot in here. Right? I've had a situation to where one of my friends have called me, like, nephew tripping. I'm like, what you talking about? He asked me to give him this or that. Y'all know what that means. Check your son, man. And these are people that are in the street. It's respect. You feel what I'm saying? They probably could have made money with him, but they didn't. Right? Okay. I'm going to say that. I'm going to tell you about my daughter first. There's nothing how can I put this? She does her thing, man. All right? She's head A big hotel, food thing, has an office, everything like that. She drive right. Another shout out, let's jump way back. Thank you, Sane, for helping me get that bolt off her car. For y'all that really know what she drive, you know what I'm saying? She drive right. She lived in one of the most expensive suburbs here. All on her own. Right? Okay. I'm not done. All right. What else can I say about her? How can I put this? She's never been on a pole and she's not pregnant. Daddy did his thing, I feel. And she's never had a child because she's not married, right? So I think I did my thing right there. So I respect that, right? Okay. She don't need to ask nobody for nothing. She don't need nothing, right? Now, I know y'all been wondering about Mama T. And I know y'all be wondering like, okay, if Mama T sick, how Charlie be dropping all these videos? Because my daughter was woman enough to say, she called me and said, Dad. I said, yeah. She said, how you feel if I just give up this and I move in with Nanny and I just go back and forth to work every day from Nanny's house and I just stay with her to make sure Nanny's straight? Whatever you want, me or grandma will provide. Whatever you need, babe. Yes or no? Right? Okay. Gave up her, like, apartment to move in with her grandma and make sure grandma was straight. Right? Okay. Boom. All right, that's the type of daughter I have. That's my oldest daughter. Lele. Right? I love my kids, man. When you doing right. Listen. Now let's talk about my son. We call him Man Man. The streets call him Cornbread. Right? Okay. Do I accept cornbread in my house? No. Right? Let me tell you why. Just like my dad did me, he used to work with me, but not for a long time. So he got some money put up. Right? When he first went to prison, I felt like I didn't put you there. Like, I have two brothers. They live in California. And my daddy never gave them a dime when they went to prison because he felt like he gave them all the training and knowledge so they wouldn't have to even go down that route, but they chose to, so that's on you. And that's how I was raised, right? But I went against that, and we'll talk about that later. But the first time he went to prison, right? Well, let me start here first. His mom couldn't control him. He came to stay with me for about a year, all day. Real man, by myself. Still pay my child support for that whole year, right? Because nobody's gonna take my freedom, right? So he stayed with me. Got him. He was on a varsity football team in the 9th grade, right? I got him to that point, right? Then he got with his little homies again because he went to a high school that wasn't too far from his mom's house. So I guess they went to that school too. So he somehow hooked up with them or on the weekends going over to see his mama. They was whatever. Right? All right. Now y'all see now how I take care of my kids. Ain't nothing ever changed. Right? So you don't have to do nothing wrong. Tell me what you want. Right? But that's not the culture we live in nowadays. We gotta, I gotta be hard. I gotta run with them. Right? And I'll prove that in a minute. Okay. So he started messing up. Him and his little friend started stealing. Right? You're not going to be stealing and living in my house and bringing stolen property into my home. Right? Okay. Boom. So he chose to tell me, and at this time, grandma, Dad be mean to me. Can I come stay with you? Come on, baby. He took some stolen stuff into my mama house. She found it. She went off. He didn't disrespect her or nothing. Next morning he was gone. He ran away. Right? Okay. He got caught up in some mess. That's when his juvenile stuff started. To the point where he was in custody when his grandfather died, when my dad passed away. He was in custody, right? I don't even want to talk about all that. I'm still mad about that, still to this day, because my lawyer had to do his thing. Was he at my daddy's funeral? Yes. Did he had to get dropped right back off to jail after that? Yes. We don't even want to talk about that one. But I don't even want to go there. My whole point is this. After all that, and me showing him everything my daddy showed me, that brother can hang drywall better than I can. That brother hang drywall like 3-4 people. I've left him on a job and came back like, oh, we about to get this money, bro. And he didn't use none of them skills. Right? That's number one. That hurt me. That had me being like, what are you doing with your life? Right? Okay. After all that, he proceeded to go to prison for his first time. Jump back. I said, I didn't feel like I needed to pay for that. So he had worked for me, and like my daddy did me, I'd put stuff up for him. So I felt like the first 5 years he was in there, you use your own money. He called me, I send it. Right? He gets out. He's out for a year. Another 5 years. No. Let me retract that. He gets out. Probation violation. Another year. Okay. He come home. Probation violation. Another year. Okay. He come home. Like, it's a cycle. Like, all right. He only had 5 years to do in prison at one point, right? Can you explain to me why he ain't seen a Christmas in 4 years? After he's got out of prison. Bim. Think about that one. He can't make it a year out of jail. Right? Okay. He goes back this time. Another violation. He gets out. But while he's in there, and this whole time he's spending his own money, because like I said, I'm not paying for this. While he's in there, he sits up and has the nerve to, right before he gets out, to tell me what he needs and wants and blah, blah, blah. Right? Okay. Did Charlie B do it? No. Okay, now, he proceeds to throw in my face. This is the first time he got out, and I still gave him a chance.
And tell that first 5 could have been 1. Tell him that.
That first 5 years, I didn't want to even go into the money, babe. I got to talk about money with doing that. Okay, all right.
You don't have to say how you got it there. Just, he could have did 1 year if he acted right.
Okay, look at it like this. He was facing 18 years. Charlie B, lawyer to men. One of the best in Columbus. One of the best in Ohio. Man, trust me. So, I did my thing. I had him talk to somebody else. And he got me a different attorney that actually deals with a lot of that. Right? Jewish brother, love him to death. Right? He told me, you give me this, he'd be home in a year if he don't get no tickets. Right? Tickets in jail are you don't get in no trouble. Okay? He was supposed to do 18. He was sentenced to 5 with the lawyer. Doing his thing, man. Right? In 1 year, he could have been home if he didn't get no tickets. That was what they worked out. He wasn't there 2 months before he had 4 tickets. Like he wanted to stay there. Right? That was a waste of time, money, right there. Okay? Now, let me jump back to where I was. He was all upset and everything because when he came home the first time, no, I'm not buying you a car. No, I'm not handing you no 5, 6, 10 grand. No. Okay, so he's mad at me the first time for that. But we got that back up and running because I gave in. Right? Okay. He do something else. He go back to jail. I went against what I said, jump back. Because by this time, he's out of money. From the money he had put up, he's out of money. Because he's been there all these years in prison. I'm sending him his own bread. Until he ran out. And then I ain't even say nothing to him. Dad, I need 100. I'll send you 50. Right? Stuff like that. So I'm kicking out now. Right? Okay. He come home. And he calls me one time. Right? Okay. He's been home for like 3 months. He got out August 8th. Okay? Heard from him one time, seen him once since then. All right. Today he calls me. I'm in here editing. And like I said, y'all, I don't cut. And we're going to keep it real in here. And I'm going to get to why all this has to do with Grit Down. Trust me. I'm sitting here and I'm editing. Because I'm going to give y'all a little tip on secret on how I do this. I film the show. I come in here. Or I film the show in here sometime. Or I just come in here and I sit down and I rewatch the show again. And when I be like, right there, I cut it. I do my thing. And boom. I walk back around table, do all that. Y'all see me do all this, walking around and slamming into the chair. Every time I do that, I have to get up, walk around, go get my phone. And I edit right then and there. That's one tip on how you get it done fast. All right? All right, now. I'm sitting here editing the part where I was when I talked to y'all earlier in my show, right? My phone rings. I see it says number. I answer it. What's up, bro? I ain't heard from you in a minute. What's going on? Nothing. Where you at? In the driveway. Okay. Now I'm a firm believer and I was raised like this. You call me before you come to my house. Military man. My daddy will let somebody knock on his door for an hour. I don't care. Now that's an exaggeration because people gonna leave. But I don't care how long you stand out there or not. I'll be like, Dad, Uncle Richie out there, that's his brother. He ain't called me. That's how I was raised, right? So, and I'm going to tell you why he's not allowed in my house anymore, right? I'm in the driveway. Okay. I stop doing what I'm doing. I go out there. He's sitting in the car, smoking, right? Y'all know when I say smoking, right? About to cry. I'm like, what's going on? Just everything messed up. He's using the F word and stuff like that, but I ain't going there with y'all. Everything messed up. Everything messed up like what? My whole life, man. I just can't get it right. Maybe that's your problem. That probably made me mad. Now, we proceed for this for like 2 minutes. He's not saying anything, just going in circles. His girl in the car. I walk around, and yes, this is the one where I showed y'all, like when I went to go see my grandbabies and took them all that stuff and everything while he was in prison and couldn't do nothing for his own children. Yes, their mother was in the car, and we have a good relationship, right? So I go walk around the car. I'm like, well, don't want to disrespect him, his SUV. And I walk around hers actually. I walk around and I'm like, Miss Lady, roll down the window, let's talk. He ain't telling me nothing. What's going on? She like, real woman. I don't even know why he talking to you in front of me. I'm like, uh-oh. Issues at home, right? So I'm like, cool. I said, get out, let's walk. Charlie B, why don't you let your son in your house? One of the times he got out of prison, I let him come live with me, right? Y'all know about Robbie and Romy. For y'all that don't, I have a 7 and 8-year-old in here. And this time they were a lot younger than that. But he wanted to play street hot boy. And I found out that he bought knitting frawl in my house, put an F in front of it. And I know it's something else. I said fraud, but I don't want to get my channel messed up, right? Into my home with my babies. Could have took us all out, right? So no, you're not welcome in here anymore. Son or not, blood or not. And y'all might take that wrong, but that stuff can kill you. And I'm not trying to, no, we're not doing that. He's luckily, I was still even willing to talk to him after that point, right? So let's proceed. I go outside, we out there talking, I talk to her, we start to take our walk. Now he's all emotional and, Now, number one, this is not, my neighborhood is not the area for this. My neighbors and stuff around here are not on that. Like I've told people before, the area I live in was built for the army-based people that, you know what I'm saying? It was a section to where we're going to build all these houses to where the military could stay and stuff like that. But then after everything, they started selling the house and stuff like that. But a lot of people around here are older and own their homes since the door, right? Their husbands was in the war and stuff like that. Feel what I'm saying? So I'm sitting out there, he going off. I'm keep telling him, calm down. Calm down. We don't do this around here, right? Okay. So around here, we take care of each other, right? So he's going off. But he's not really going off at me. He's trying to explain his situation, how messed up his life is, right? I'm like, okay. My dude across the street opened the door. He got his thing with him. I hope y'all know what that means. Like, and then he notices my son. He like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, that's man. Charlie B handle that, right? Okay. I wave him off. Man, he calmed down for a minute, but then he started going off, and I'm like, so what's really the problem? He's like, I just got her fired. I said, how? Well, I went to go pick her up, and she wasn't answering her phone, and I went to go in there and get her, and the door was locked, so I started banging on the door. Prison mentality. Right? Right? And I'm gonna prove it right here. I said, man, why would you do that? I was just ready to go. I said, okay. I said, what happened then? Oh, they gonna come to the door and be all mad at me, looking at me all crazy because I got all this stuff on my face and all this and right. Now I'm gonna tell you like this. My son, his face is all tattered up. His neck is all tattered up. And my whole thing is that you could do what you want to do. But like I told him, where are you going to get a job like that? Right? But I really wasn't worried about it because from everything I taught him, I thought he'd maintain. I thought when he got out of jail, he'd be able to either work with me or handle his business because I gave him my opportunity, and I'll talk about that later. Right? So he looks, I ain't gonna lie, crazy. Crazy. So they're watching his brother go off outside about where his woman is, right? Because she's supposed to be off, right? Now, Miss B is a nurse. She gets off at 7 o'clock. On the dot, right? What does that mean though? No, she don't. No, she don't. Because the other nurse has to come in at 7 o'clock. She starts work at 7, right? So Miss B is at work till after 7. For why? They have to run through the medication. They have to do all this. They have to switch off to make sure, okay, if some pills was missing, she took them because when I left, we did the count and everything like that, right? Man, my son, man, didn't understand that. His woman had a good job, right? They fired her on the spot for him looking like that, acting crazy, right? All right. He comes over here and then proceeds to try to take it out on me. Right? Okay. So, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I might have messed up a little bit because he's my son and I talk to him like he's a man. Right? So he's standing there yelling and screaming. I'm telling him, calm down. And he's like, they should have understood. I've been to prison. I don't understand how this all works out here. So right now I'm mad because I'm looking at it like, you're stupid. How should anybody who hasn't been to prison did their thing their whole life need to understand why, what you done been? No. So at this point, he's about to cry and everything like that. I'm just messing my whole life up. Everything I try don't work because it's wrong. He ain't gonna hear that, right? He starts crying. I said, why you crying? Why can't you just get it together and talk to me? Because everything I do, didn't nobody have nothing for me when I came home. Which was a shot at me like, I need a car, I need this, I need that, right? So he's mad. Okay. I said, man, you went to prison, not Harvard. You didn't graduate from college. That's when you get all that, right? Okay. He said, y'all don't understand, I'm just so emotional. And he's screaming loud at this point outside my house. And Charlie B ain't gonna lie to y'all. I talked to him like he is a man. And I asked him, I said, are you a man? Because you acting like little B right now. Right? Boom! Through the roof. He went through the roof. I'm standing there. Because at one point I was sitting down. I stood up. I said, I didn't call you that. I said, you acting. No. You can't go. All right. He walked to his car. This is a brother that has no license, wants to run the streets and make his money in the streets and ride around with bang-bangs, right? Okay. So I turned around, turned my back to him, which I never do to any other brother, but he's my son. I turned my back to him. I said, go home. And I proceeded to walk to my house, to my door. Right? Okay. He proceeds to start yelling at me, screaming and everything. And I've already did my testimony about my health and everything. Hope you die, MF. You don't treat me like you treat everybody else. I'll air this whole MF out. I'm done. I proceed to go in my house. Miss B is like, what's going on? We have our little words. For about 2 minutes, I'm talking to Miss B. He's out there yelling and screaming. He's my son. So did I pick up anything and go back out there? No. Should I have? Yes. But I walked back out on my porch and I told him, you really don't want this. Right? He proceeded to get in his car, still yelling and screaming. And he drove off. All right, now let me say this. I have, like I said, y'all know Robbie and Rumi in this home. I don't care if you're my son, if you're my mama. You don't threaten to shoot up my house with my babies in here. I don't care who you are. It's over. And technically, he's lucky he is my son. Right? That's all I got to say about that, and I'm going to leave it at that. Okay? All right? With me, I feel like this. Just because you have people that say, we family, don't mean you could trust them. Grit it down. What would happen if everything would have went bad and I let him come with us? Right? He would have been the type of person that only cares about himself. And then after he ate all the food, because you ration at that point, after he drunk all your water. Well, y'all should have said, I've been in prison. I don't know how this works. You can't have nobody that's going to give you excuses going with you nowhere if everything is bad. They need to be on the same page as you. Family or not. I tell you this. I have friends that I would let come to me and Miss B spot in West V before I would let him. Charlie B, that's your son. I'm done. I'm done. I've given you all the tools. I've did all I could. I did things I said I wouldn't do for you if you did go to jail. Right? Okay. I feel like I've given enough, and I feel like I have babies to raise still. Right? So with that being said, and at this point, my kids, to me, Robbie and Romy are perfect. And for y'all that don't know, my son has autism, and I wouldn't trade him for anything in the world. I wouldn't, somebody could, I wouldn't take, I don't know how to put this where y'all gonna understand. So like, Charlie B, you shouldn't have said it like that. But if somebody came to me and was like, guess what? I can make Romy just like every other little boy his age right now. We'd have a problem. What's wrong with my son, bruh? We'd have a problem, right? He has autism, but to me, he's perfect. And they give me the grades. They get whatever they want. Try to be thirsty, y'all. So I feel like I shouldn't let nobody, family or not, threaten them. And to me, that was a threat. Because bullets have no names on them. And you talking about airing out my house, that means putting a whole lot of things in here through the walls, everything like that. With your little brothers and sisters in here. So you have no respect for me. You have no respect for them. So right now I have no respect for you. Right? I hope y'all understand that. That was what I was talking about today. And I want to give a shout out to Miss B. Y'all, I know y'all seen me look a little bit before that way. She was standing in the doorway like, I want to say thank you to Miss B, because when we did get him the first time when he could do a year, me and Miss B married. My money, her money, my money. So we all helped with that. And he blew that out the door in a couple months of being in there. And he had to serve the whole time. You feel me? Now getting back. I want to really know, Peanut Gang. How much disrespect should a parent take? Right? Because my dad told me, he lived by that old saying. If you put your hands on me, I'm going to take you out. My daddy, and I don't believe he was playing. Right? I was raised that way. So like I said before, and I know you probably gonna see this man, but you lucky, bro, you my son. And you lucky I have these babies right now, because I'm not gonna let you trick me out of my freedom. I guess that's the end of the show for today. That's what was going on earlier, y'all. But if you have anybody that you are thinking about taking with you, if everything goes bad, I don't care how close a family member they are to you. You can't let one bad apple spoil the whole bunch. You can't. You don't need anybody going with you that you know, oh, they love to make excuses. You don't need anybody going with you where you know every time you try to confront them with something, they have an answer. You need somebody that's on the same page as you. Y'all need to be together like, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Not this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. And then once you get to that point, well, I feel like we need to do this. You've already messed up. So please don't think that just because you know your people, right? You know your people. So don't think just because they're family, you have to take care of them. When you know in the long run, before everything goes bad, like the situation I'm in, they won't even take care of themselves. Boom, boom, boom. Think about that one. Charlie B, love y'all. Y'all be easy. I hope that helped. And I hope that this show just let y'all know how real I want to really keep it with y'all. Just like y'all keep it real with me. Y'all come in and give me y'all's testimonies on autism awareness. Y'all come in, show me pictures of y'all's children and tell me, Charlie B, go ahead, put it up. Thank you. Thank you. So if y'all can reach out to us like that, I feel like me and Miss B can reach out and tell you what's going on in our life. Because I know some people think, okay, Charlie B and Mrs. Life is perfect. Nobody's life is perfect, y'all. It's not perfect. Everybody goes through things. And I just want to say to everybody else that is going through some things, I don't know how you take care of it, but find your center in it, right? Because this is how my center works. Shout out to you, Sane. I've been listening to you all day, bruh. Like I tell y'all, that's how I wash stuff off, right? So now what I'm going to do is try to get my head together. And I know it's together, but it's Charlie B. Bizarroville over here. I'm going to go get my head together. And like my little nephew. Uncle Charlie B, you going to get your head together? Yeah, a little bit. Right. So how Charlie B do that, since I keep it real with y'all, I'm going to go in the bathroom, hit my knees in front of the tub, do my thing, pray it off, get in the shower, still pray it off, give it to God and wash it away. So Miss B says she want to do comments. She's starting to like the comments, y'all. Like, she's always liked them, but she's really like, this is the first time she came to me like, when did they comments? I'm like, babe, we did them a couple days ago. She's like, that was like 3 days ago. But so Miss B want to do that, and happy wife, happy life. So I'll probably be back with the comments with Miss B. But I just wanted to let y'all know that everybody goes through some things, but we all have to be together and, just work it out. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say thank you for listening. Everybody that watches this Grid Down. But more than just it being about me tonight, please understand the company you keep when you realize that there's nothing out there. There's no grocery stores. There's nothing to help you. There's nobody you can call. You really don't want to be in a situation to where you have to, how can I put this? Be in that situation and your family members is basically somebody that's against you with what you're trying to do to maintain and survive. Charlie B out. I love y'all. Y'all be easy.